wow, it feels like I haven't filmed in forever. Like, this is what happens when you're just super lazy, and instead of filming for your booktube channel, you're just reading content for your booktube channel, but then you never make content for your booktube channel. I suck. Hey y'all, it's me, Cecilia. Welcome back to my channel. So today, I haven't done a recent reads video in like a month, and I have some books, some TV shows, some movies to update y'all on. So here we are. There are some worst books of the year on this list, but there's also some best books of the year on this list, and some surprising things. So it's gonna be lit. So the first book I read was The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I gave this 2 stars. Ooh, what I could say about this book. I should probably explain what this is about. I have no fucking clue. Literally haven't read this too long ago. This was our Page Fellas book club pick for October, and I will leave our live show up above. None of us really liked it. Okay, let me tell you. The writing, I didn't like the writing. It was overly flowery. I don't like over flowery writing. I think it's lazy, and which sounds weird, but like it's lazy because I feel like authors use overly flowery writing in order to compensate for the lack of plot and character development. But you know, that's just my opinion. And that was a story in this book. The characters felt very one-dimensional. I felt like we knew nothing about the characters. It was so fucking boring. The only thing I liked about this book was that the atmosphere. I will give it to Erin Morgenstern. She could write a great atmospheric book, because the descriptions of the circus, I wanted to be there. Like, I was like, ooh, this sounds so cool and interesting. Like, that was the only thing I enjoyed. Everything else was trash and terrible, and I did not like this book. Did I think I was gonna like this book? I didn't think it was gonna be a best book of all time. I can tell you that right now. But I was at least expecting to give it a 3 stars, but maybe I just don't like circus books. This book was just not it. Okay, this book was not it. Number 2, I read Well Met by Jen DeLuca, and I gave this 5 stars. Fuck, I love this. So, this book, we follow our main character, Emily. She has moved into this smaller town to help with her sister. Her sister's like her and her sister have a good age gap in between them. I think it was about like 10 years or so. And her older sister got in a bad car accident. So she's trying to help her older sister just kind of get through everything and help her go through her recovery, while also just taking care of her niece, who is about like 13-ish. No, I think she's more like 14. She's below 16, but like she's still a teenager, if you know what I mean. So her niece really wants to join this Renaissance fair, but since she is underage, she needs a parent to sign up with her, and since of course her mom is incapacitated, Emily takes on the reign of joining the Renaissance fair. And it was so great. I love Renaissance fairs. Talk about them actually like performing for the roles of the Renaissance fair, actually setting up, practicing, was so interesting, because I didn't know how much actually went into a Renaissance fair, but like, this gave me all of the feelings about it. Like, I just want to go to one like right now. I know there's one in the area. I don't want to go. It was great. I loved all of the characters. All the characters felt very realistic to me. They all felt like people that I either know in my real life now, or people that I will eventually meet in my life. Like, they felt real. And that's what I look for in books. I want real characters. I don't need to like them. I just want them to feel realistic. I want to feel like, yeah, I know this bitch. You know what I mean? And it was the love interest. It was, This is kind of an enemies to lovers, but it's like there's a good reason why Emily does not like this guy. You'll have to read the book to find out. But it was just so good. I've been starting to delve more into adult romances, and some have been hits, or some have been misses, like Red, White, and Royal Blue. So I'll talk about that terrible ass book. But this was a great book. I loved it so much. Y'all need to read it. Next one, I'm actually going to talk about 2 manga volumes that I read, whatever. It was Beastars Volume 1 and 2. Now, if I had to explain what this is, how I see people explaining this, it is like a manga version of Zootopia, which is kind of true. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty accurate. So we follow our main character. He is a teenage wolf, and we're in kind of this school where everyone's kind of this anthropomorphized animals, but in a way where they kind of look in like right in between an animal and a human. And it's interesting. There is there is a divide between carnivores and herbivores, which is always super interesting. And our main character, he is of course a wolf, and you know, wolves are always kind of revered for being like really big bad carnivores kind of thing. But he is like a super chill, like super shy, gentle dude. And he is part of the drama club, and one of the drama club students, who is a lamb, gets basically eaten by a carnivore, and everyone's trying to figure out who did it, because like in this society, pretty much one of the only like the biggest offense is a carnivore eating an herbivore. And it's such a great psychological dig into, first of all, our main character, but also all the other animal people in the society. It is so interesting and fun. I read this first 2 volumes of manga like in one sitting, and I also watched the first episode of the anime, which is premiering this season, and it's just so good. It's so good. Did I rate this? I don't know if I rated it, but it's such a, I recommend this manga series. Y'all need to read it. It's great. If you like Zootopia but you want a little more depth, this is that, or a little darker, then this is that. Okay, number 4, I read this for Indigiathon, and this is Not Your Princess, Voices of Native American Women. I believe that's a full title. Edited by Lisa Charlie Boy. I gave this one 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. So this is a essay, poetry, mixed media kind of collection. And there is artwork and, of course, different artistic pieces by different Native American women. Now, the different pieces vary in what they talk about and in different ages of people. Like there's some from people who are younger, like in middle school to high school, some of like women who are like in their 50s. So you get like the different ages and those exposures, and of course women who live through different time periods or live different decades in this world. And it was really interesting. There was also, the art was all from Indigenous women as well, and it was so, all the art was beautiful. Like even if you just find this book, just like look through it, it was so pretty. And this book was really good. I loved it. I would have given it 5 stars, but I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I think that a lot of people need to read this book, especially if you are Indigenous. This would be, I think, perfect for you. Of course, since I'm not, I can't speak to anything, but everything was own voices. Everybody who was in the anthology was Indigenous. It was perfect. I loved it. And now the last book. Oh, the last book I'm going to talk about. I read Queen of Hearts by Colleen Oakes. I gave this 1 star. I hate this book with a burning passion. Oh my god. You know what I'm going to do? I actually have this clip from a reading vlog that I was going to upload that I never did of me ranting about this book. So I'm going to include it here, where I literally filmed that clip right after I finished the book, so y'all can see my rantings here. I just finished Queen of Hearts by Colleen Oakes, and I'm giving it 1 star. This book, my criteria for 1 star, I don't know if I've ever talked to anybody, but my criteria, I have 2 criteria for 1 star. The first one is that I despise it. Like, I like literally nothing about it. Like, literally there's no aspect of the book that I enjoyed. Or if there's one aspect, it's very small and minute and doesn't change anything. The second aspect is if I physically cannot understand why people like this book. Those are my 2 options. Or, like, those are my 2 reasons. And those are very true for this book. I think I talked about it earlier in the video, but this is a YA retelling or fantasy retelling of the Queen of Hearts from Wonderland. And wow, oh my god. First of all, this book was too short. This was like 300 pages. The audiobook was like 6, not even 7 hours long. It needed to be at least 100 more pages because, girl, girl. Start with pacing, which is a huge thing for me. The pacing was literally some of the worst pacing I've ever seen. It was like we would have something event happen and it would take, and like 5 chapters would happen, and then we would skip 2 months, but the 2 months we would have needed would have been very, very useful to, one, build character development, which there was none in this book. Second, to see more plot of the book, which we saw none of that, because so much didn't make actual sense. And I feel like if there was just more scenes in those gaps and not having to skip randomly 2 months, that would be great. We have our main character, Dina. Reminds me of Dino Chicken Nuggets every time I think about her. She is supposed to be 17, and legit until they told us how old she was, I thought she was 10, because she acts literally so childish. She's supposed to be a couple months from her coronation, about for most of this book. But literally throughout the whole book, we do not see her act older than a 10-year-old. She whines and bitches constantly. She is the most privileged. I know you're a princess, but like, you don't understand that there are criminals? What? And she was just so, her motivations were so stupid, and she hated everybody, and she was the dumbest bitch around. Who thought you were ready to be queen? I don't understand, because you need at least another 30 years, bitch. Love interest, I didn't care for him. I mean, I don't have any like reason to like him. He didn't feel developed at all, other than being Dinah's best friend. So the plot was barely there. We had one chapter at the beginning, skip to about 50% of the book, or 50% of the first 50% of the book. After that one thing, nothing happened. We have a chapter where something happens, skip another 40%, and then more things happen. So there's what, 3 incidents and 300 pages? That probably took about, at most, 50 pages. There was at least a good 200 pages of filler in this book that literally added nothing. And I was just like, I swear to God, I was so bored listening to this audiobook. I was just scrolling through my Instagram, playing damn games on my phone, because I literally could not. And there was just the dumbest shit would happen, to the point where I was just like, oh my God, like, Denna, are you, oh my God. Like, I literally liked nothing about this book. I don't, it has a low rating on Goodreads, yeah, like, I think 3.6, which makes a lot of sense, but I will not read the sequel. y'all give, I will read the sequel if y'all give me $100. I'm not reading that damn sequel. I think Denna is on the list of like my most hated book characters. Like, she's in the top 3, bitch. Like, there was a part where she said the sentence. She was like, I was sitting here bored out of my mind, and I'm like, Denna, you took the words right out of my mouth, because I'm sitting here bored out of my mind as well. Get on with the fucking point. Also, the writing was a very mediocre. I think this was the author's first book, so I'm not going to hold that against her. But you can tell it was a debut. I'm just gonna say that. But yeah, this was not good. Not good at all. Y'all will see this in my worst books of 2019. Get ready for that. Wow. Thanks, I hate it. Hi, welcome back. Did you like my rantings? Because wow, I was heated. But yes, those were the 5 books that I read during this time. Now I'm gonna go into movies. So my movies are a little strange. They're a little childhood favorite kind of thing. Well, okay. So the first movie I watched was Hocus Pocus. This was the first time I had ever seen Hocus Pocus. I watched it on Halloween with my mom. She had seen it. I literally told her she had not seen Hocus Pocus, and she looked at me like I was crazy. So we sat down and watched it. And it was really fun. I think I gave this one 4 stars, 5 stars. I don't know exactly. But do I need to explain what Hocus Pocus is about? Because I'm not going to. But I thought it was really fun. It was cheesy and dramatic, but that's all I expected from this movie. The Sanderson sisters were just as funny as I thought I was gonna be. There was a lot of adult humor, which I wasn't expecting. Like the whole thread of our main character, I forgot his name, but of him being a virgin, which I think is hilarious, and it's just a running gag throughout the movie, which I wasn't expecting in a Disney movie or a Disney Channel movie, but it was great. It was great. I loved it. I understand why so many people really like this movie, so I might link a Twitter thread of me watching the film, because I did a whole Twitter thread about it. It was great. I loved it. Oh, what else do I gotta say? Alrighty, next movie I watched was Muppet's Treasure Island. You're probably wondering why the hell I'm holding something up. Literally, what was it? Like a week ago or so, I found this at the thrift store for 45 cents. This is a laser disc of Muppet Treasure Island. It has never been watched. It has never been opened. It isn't brand new. Or it's never been watched, at least. You can tell because the inside wrapper had not been opened. And it is in pristine condition. And for 45 cents, fuck yeah, I bought it. I love Muppet Treasure Island. Muppet Treasure Island holds near and dear to my heart. As you guys know, I love Treasure Planet. I love all retellings of Treasure Island, even though I've not read the original story, but you know, it's fine. It is such a great movie. It's so funny. We have Tim Curry living his best life as a pirate.
Cruise the foreign shores.
Sing it, lads! Show him you've been practicing!
I fucking love this movie. No critique. 5 stars. Moving on. Next movie I also watched was also another Muppet movie, because I love the Muppets. Was Muppet Christmas Carol. Same with Muppet Treasure Island. I love this movie to death. Every Christmas I must watch it, and since I got Disney Plus, thank you, boyfriend, I had to watch the Muppet movies. I mean, I just had to. It was so amazing. I love it every time I watch it. I was watching it while drinking wine. I was watching also Muppet Treasure Island while drinking wine, and I'm singing the songs as I'm drunk, like, you know, it's crazy. I love the Muppet movies to death. 5 stars. I don't even know why I'm explaining this to you. Now, the TV shows that I watched. I watched 2 TV shows, or 2 seasons of TV shows during this time. I watched Bojack Horseman Season 6 Part 1. I gave this 5 stars. I fucking love this. I am such a Bojack Horseman lover. Not of him as a person, because he's a shitty person, but of this TV series, these last 5 seasons have been so amazing. And this 6th season is the last season, so they released part 1, which I believe was 8 episodes, and then they're gonna release part 2 at the end of January. And oh my god. So, you know when you're watching like the last season of a show that you love that's had a couple it's had like quite a couple seasons, and you start to see everything wrapping up and you're like realizing it in your head? That's what I saw in this season. You get to see characters that you haven't seen in maybe a couple seasons. You're seeing these plot threads start to come together. And if you've seen Bojack Horseman, we basically follow Bojack. He is kind of a washed up celebrity. He is a shitty person. He's an alcoholic. He has daddy issues, mommy issues. He's just got issues. And you see him trying to navigate basically his world around with his acquaintances, friends, I don't know what to call them. Complicated relationships. But you see all of the people that Bojack has fucked over, screwed over throughout all of these seasons, and you get this, and you're wondering, like, is he actually going to get anything? Like, is he ever going to, like, are they going to come back to bite him in the ass? Is he ever going to have to speak up about what he has done to people? And basically all these things that come to light. And you start seeing that in season 6 of how, like, okay, you can't just fuck people over and expect that nothing's gonna happen and everything's gonna be fine. And it's Oh, it's coming together so beautifully, and I literally cannot wait for the last part of Bojack Horseman. I'm so ready. End of January, bitch, don't talk to me. I will be up Bojack Horseman's ass because this is... I'm ready. I'm so ready. Oh my god. The show I have talked about in plenty of times on my channel. Shira and the Princess of Power Season 4. Hi, editing me. Can we all notice how bad these movie posters are? Because I could have made better in like grade 7. These are terrible Photoshop. Like, who authorized this to be official, like, poster art? Because this is ugly as hell. Now, I will give Shira this. This was the best season that they have had so far. I'm pretty sure I said that last time I talked about season 3. But I still only gave it 3 stars. Maybe even a 2.5. This show is the bane of my existence. But I still watch it because I believe in it. I just know that it could be literally so amazing, but Noelle Stevenson needs to get off her ass and make it so, because it's just not there. There was actually plot happening. Interesting plot in this show. I was really digging it. I liked how they handled Double Trouble. So Double Trouble is basically a non-binary shapeshifter, and I really love how they portrayed non-binary rep. It was very subtle. No one ever really asked Double Trouble what, like, gender they are or anything like that, and the pronouns, they just automatically started using they pronouns, or they them pronouns, which was awesome. So kudos to them. They deserve that. They deserve those points for that, so I'll give them that. But some character development, specifically, like, all of my rage and anger left with the Glimmer. Oh my fucking god, what the fuck did they do to this character? I swear to god, if I saw Glimmer right here in front of me, I would literally, like, judo chop. I don't know, just real quick. I hate her so... I think Glimmer wins as the most hated TV character I have ever hated. I hate her so much, and not even... And you know how I said earlier in the video how I love realistic characters? Glimmer's not realistic, because no one would fucking act like her. No one is that fucking stupid. No one is that fucking naive and ignorant and a piece of shit. Not even Bojack Horseman is this fucking annoying. Oh wow, I have hatred for this character, and her actions throughout this entire season got under my goddamn nerves so much, and I just know it's not gonna get better next season, season 5. I just know it, but I just don't want to acknowledge it yet. I'm just not there yet. Oh my god, I'm gonna give myself a headache. But yeah, that's that. So that was my recent reads and watches. Number three. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you guys in another video. Peace.